Greetings, Starfighter. You have been recruited by the Star League to defend the frontier against Zur and the Kodan Armada. Get ready. Prepare for blast off.
Your fortress of solitude.
Greetings, program.
Glad you're alive.
Your sanctum sanctorum.
Resistance is futile.
Welcome.
This should be first triumph. This is where the fun begins.
Proof positive that geeks have inherited the earth.
It's showtime.
It's time to get your geek on.
You complete me.
With Dave Gramillion.
All right. Welcome to one of the most listened to talk radio shows for geeks in the U.S. of A. I'm Dave Gramillion, voted the best radio personality in all of San Antonio by San Antonio Magazine, and this is Get Your Geek On. We're on a never-ending quest to awaken your inner geek by talking about all the products, events, news, opinion, reviews, and oh so much more that demonstrate that geek is now the mainstream. Today on Season 3, Episode 41 on Freedom 1160 and Freedom1160.com, we are crammed with news. And we got to lead off with some big-time scandal. That's right. The Warner Brothers CEO has stepped down amidst, let's just say he was a naughty boy. It didn't go very well. So we also have Amber Heard allegations as well. Apparently there's some domestic abuse there. Domestic abuse done by her against Johnny Depp. So, yeah, there's a lawsuit now, and things are flying all over the place. So we'll talk about that. I only want to talk about what's actually factually true. I don't want to get on rumors and innuendos and all that. So we will bring you just the news and nothing further about that. Star Wars Land. Yes, it is rapidly around the corner. It'll be opening up late May. And if you're looking to take the kids out there, you're probably out of luck by the time you hear this. We're going to be talking about some news about Star Wars Land, and not all of it is good. Speaking of Star Wars, so did Lucasfilm announce that they're going to revise Lucasfilm games? Yeah, not really. We're going to get into that also. So you want to keep listening for that. Our Serenity movie event is coming up. It's going to be next week. We are officially 1 week, 168 hours, like to the minute almost, 168 hours away from that. So if you haven't gotten your tickets by now, you better do it now because that thing is selling out fast. March Madness. Yes, the first round of the basketball tournament was this weekend. However, we're already in the Elite Eight. We're going to tell you who is moving on to the Final Four of our March Madness tournament. We have some Transformers news, and yeah, that's not good either. And finally, Google announced at long last what their gaming platform is going to be. It's called Stadia, and we will be telling you the good, the bad, and the ugly about that sucker. But let me go ahead and introduce my motley crew here in studio with me. If you look to my left, your right, across the radio dial, you will see, man, his hair just faded. It's not, it didn't work out so well. But he's our gaming guru. He is Aaron Shapiro.
It's faded so bad, and now I'm sad.
It's kind of Joker-ish, but
it was Jokerish more when the first screen went in, and now it's kind of just faded to this. So tomorrow I'll be fixing that, guys, and then eventually I'll be going back to black.
It's like snot green, really, is what it is.
Yeah, it's getting to that. I won't lie, like it's seafoam green almost too. So.
And that other voice there is the dulcet tones of our sound prognosticator. He's spinning the ones and zeros, and he is Goose.
What's going on?
What's shaking, Goose?
He sits so still.
I've got like 4 screens I'm looking at. It's rather distracting.
I know. Right? We need to get a picture of this bank of electronica that you have over there.
More arms is what I need.
Yeah.
I want that many screens when I edit stuff.
It's an impressive setup to be sure, man. There's no question about it. So, all righty. Well, let's go ahead and let's dive right into our lead topic for the afternoon here. Scandal, and more scandal going down.
Not so fast. Hey, not so fast.
Warner Brothers CEO, and I'm going to butcher the name. I'm sorry. I am not a linguist by any stretch of the imagination. Warner Brothers CEO Kevin Tsujihara? I think it's
To
Sujahara.
To the
I think.
Google.
Kevin
Probably
has,
Sujahara. The T's probably silent.
Is it?
could be. Kevin has officially stepped down. And this comes after weeks and months of an investigation that's been going on against him involving, you guessed it, pay-for-play sexual scandal with an actress.
Which actress would that be?
It would be Charlotte Kirk from Ocean's 8, the all-female Oceans movie that came out.
Right.
Apparently, for several years, he agreed to get her a few acting gigs if, she would act like she cared toward him. You get the idea. I don't want to. You get the idea.
Still a family show.
She is about half his age, so I'm just saying. This is a quote directly from the Warner Brothers CEO himself. Quote, "I acknowledge I may have made some poor choices, and I'm sorry for that. But I've learned from my mistakes since then." No, wait. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not.
It's from her.
That's right. That's from her. I apologize. She said, I acknowledge I may have made some poor choices, and I'm sorry for that, but I've learned from my mistakes since then and grown a lot as a person, as a woman, and as a professional actor. I just can't stay quiet anymore. I feel compelled to speak out. Now, this is the guy, the CEO, was singled out as part of the problem at the DCEU. He stuck to his guns when it came to Zack Snyder. He was really in Zack's corner when it came to the way the movies were developed, and apparently now much to their detriment. And so now he was also seen as part of the resurgence of the DCEU. He was responsible for bringing on Patty Jenkins, who directed Wonder Woman, and James Wan, who directed the billion-dollar film Aquaman. So it seems like he had started to kind of turn the corner, and now he's on the unemployment line. Well, let's face it, he's not. He fine.
Doesn't mind. He still has billions.
He probably has $100 million. Oh man, I'm going to get fired. Might as well step down clause in his contract. So.
Oh darn, you fired me.
So this, I'm wondering. It really depends on how involved he was. I mean, if Greg Popovich steps down from the Spurs, that's huge. That's huge because he is involved in everything that goes on with the franchise. If some vice president up in an office somewhere steps down, is it really that big a deal? How involved was Kevin in the resurgence of the DCEU? That's going to be, well, that's only half the story. The other half of the story is who are they going to get to replace him? Who are they going to promote? Who are they going to bring in? I wish it were me, but it's not. And what will happen to the DCEU now that this guy has stepped down? Because it looked like the DCEU was on the rise again. They had Wonder Woman, they had Patty Jenkins, they've got James Wan, they had Aquaman, you got Shazam, which is getting some good buzz. So, maybe we can get there. And it looked like they were heading the right direction. And now this guy has to step down.
So basically, you're wondering if lightning can strike twice with Shazam.
I'm wondering just how big, because not a lot of people are talking about this, and I'm wondering if it's because he just wasn't that involved in the DCEU. Some of the news reports say that he was very, very into the DCEU, and some say that he was kind of hands off. He would hire the people to work on this, and then he would just say, go do your own thing.
Speaking Kojima. So if you don't know who Kojima is, he is a very big name in video games. He does a lot of horror video games. And we'll get a bunch of trailers that have nothing to do with the movie, and you'll still 5 years later never know what the movie's about.
Okay,
that's about describes his work.
Yeah.
So that's who we need, because I mean it's not like they're doing anything else. So
that's true. So I'm very curious to see how this is going to impact the DCEU going forward. It's either going to be enormous, or it's not going to be much at all.
I don't think it's going to be much at all, because who has ultimate say-so of the directors, honestly?
It sounds like he did.
So he did. So I mean,
this would be the equivalent of Kevin Feige,
he's the boss of all. Well, he was because Time Warner just finished their buyout to AT&T. AT&T now owns Warner Media, formerly known as Time Warner.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
So well, that's why DirecTV is changing like crazy.
They own DirecTV, don't they?
I didn't know that. AT&T owns DirecTV, and now they own Time Warner.
So now that Warner Brothers doesn't have anybody at the helm, this is the equivalent of like Kevin Feige or Kathleen Kennedy stepping down.
So this is like the villains are running the show now.
Well, I mean, right now it's rudderless. There's nobody at the helm. There's nobody running the show now.
I wonder though. Like, that's weird. Just call Jason Momoa. Have him go do it.
Jason Momoa run the whole
do
thing.
this for a minute. You got this, right? I mean, think about it. All they have to do is the first 5 seconds of every DC movie is put him up there, shirtless, covered in water. Bam, they made a few million.
Okay, there you go.
That's all he has to do.
That'll work. On the other side of the scandal coin here, we have some allegations of domestic abuse going on, and usually we don't talk about scandal on the show. It's not like this is a politics show or a sports show or something like that. But man, it started raining and then pouring on us here. So back in 2016, there were some allegations of domestic abuse charges against Johnny Depp. According to Amber Heard, her now ex-husband would hit her. At one point, she took a video of him flinging a wine glass in a fit of rage. She said this would happen when Johnny would lose his temper and would lash out at her verbally and physically. So they divorced. That's gone. And now Depp is suing her. The lawsuit lists incidents of Amber's alleged abuse against him since the start of the marriage, including punching and kicking and then staging the attacks against herself. So she would basically say that, no, I'm going to tell people that you hit me and so on and so forth. And it's the Me Too movement and they're going to believe me instead of you. Yeah. There is one thing here. Some type of online periodical called The Blast managed to obtain a photo of Johnny Depp having a black eye, which was caused by Amber Heard after he was late for her 30th birthday dinner on April 21st. This is alleged by The Blast in the photo that was. Another instance detailed that she threw a vodka bottle at Johnny Depp, resulting in a hand injury that nearly severed a finger. He had to go to the hospital and have it was like, I don't want to get too gross here, but let's just say nearly severed and had to be reattached.
So you've met my lady friend?
Yes, I have.
So if it was a significant birthday,
yes,
as 30 is, 40 is, 50 is,
sure,
and I was late, do you think I'd get a black eye?
No, you would have a gunshot.
Pretty much, yeah. There'd be a GSW involved there.
Well, that's true, but we don't know Amber Heard, and we're joking. Obviously, we're exaggerating, and I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't in light of what's going on here. But I mean, wow. So it's kind of a he said she said at this point. He's suing her for I think $50 million because she wrote an op-ed in the Washington Post detailing this abuse, and now all of a sudden. Allegedly, he's saying that cost him the Pirates of the Caribbean job.
Well, and that's the thing, too. Like, from what I've heard, it's $50 million for defamation of character from the lawsuit I had read on a while back. And then I don't know exactly, but apparently he's given over, like, surveillance footage, photos, like, all this stuff.
And there were, like, witnesses to some of this abuse.
Like,
and
I heard, I could be wrong, like 80-something pieces of evidence against her.
Wow.
And I'm like, that's ridiculous. But it just shows that you can't believe everything you hear.
Right.
If someone has evidence of like, hey, you almost cut my finger off. Well, yeah, you're kind of crazy now.
Yeah.
That's the time he didn't want somebody to pull his finger.
Wow.
Please don't pull it.
Wow.
Oh, no, and I think what also kind of gets me is I don't know if y'all remember back when this first started, the allegation, and he was in Fantastic Beasts, and there was a whole group of women who were trying to get him out of that movie. Because of that allegation.
Because the allegation against Amber Heard.
And normally there's just a large group of women out to get him, but that's a different issue.
Yeah, that's true. So his reputation was in tatters for a while. And we know, again, I don't want to get too political, but as soon as something big breaks against somebody and they're in the limelight, they're in the spotlight, and there are allegations of domestic abuse or sexual abuse or something like that, that person's career is destroyed.
Yeah, you're done.
I mean, it's very, very hard to come back from that. And then amazingly enough, a lot of these allegations tend to go away.
Yeah.
Now, that's not to say that you shouldn't believe victims, you shouldn't believe women or anything, or even men, or anybody really that voices these accusations. We're just saying you shouldn't jump the gun. A lot of this is still going to be settled out in court over the next weeks, months, maybe even years. I mean, we're talking about things that happened back in 2016, but at the same time, wow.
There's 3 sides to every story. Her side, his side, and
the truth.
Now, one thing we didn't talk about was possibly Disney jumping the James Gunn, because reportedly James Gunn is back under Guardians of the Galaxy.
This is very interesting, considering what James Gunn was fired for originally by Disney, and now he's back.
Back again.
Yeah.
He's back.
I mean,
Tell
the
a friend.
tweets that he put out there that he got fired for.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised, but
Yeah.
everyone kept saying that was him a long time ago. That's not him now, and a lot of the actors were taking Gunn's side.
Well, that's true. The
So-
actors did stick by him, but I thought. See, I'm getting mixed messages here because you know what? I don't want to get political. I really don't. But when the Kavanaugh thing happened, when all the hearings went on, you know, a lot of what happened there was 20, 30, 35 years ago. And we
Yeah.
were told that that was very significant into his character and what he would mean, going forward. And now we're told that James Gunn, well, what he tweeted all those years ago, which was like, I think it was
right?
10
Something
or
like
12
that,
years
yeah.
ago. And that doesn't matter because he's changed and he's a completely different person. So it's either one or the other. And I'm not sure which anymore.
So we're not going political, right?
No, we're not. No, absolutely not.
All right.
Gunny back.
All right.
Tell a
Gotta
friend.
unturn the key there. Hang on one moment.
Gunny back. Gunny back.
So on the one hand, I'm not. I know there are some people that are over the moon about James Gunn returning to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm not one of them. Now, I'm not condemning this either. All right. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter in my life one way or the other.
Exactly.
I mean, you know, I'm still going to have to deal with 410 traffic. I still have to pick up dry cleaning. I still have to go to work. So it doesn't make a hill of beans in this crazy world. But
You didn't win the Powerball last night?
amazingly enough, I did not. I did not. That's craziness.
I'd want to direct a movie if we did. We should go be like, hey, look, I won the Powerball, $10 million. I want to be the director.
Or, you know, casting agent or writer or something. You know what I want to be? I want to be the guy that watches the rough cut of the movie and says, this is stupid.
Aaron
Write it like this. What is
Aaron-
wrong with you people?
Aaron can't be the casting director.
Why
He's
not?
single.
Oh, because he's single. No, I can't do that.
I need your number here, just so I can call you after the show. Make sure that you're doing all right.
Yeah, so the James Gunn, now it's very interesting. The Disney Fox deal just closed on the morning of the 21st, I think.
Yes, it did.
12:02 a.m.,
And it
technically
was
speaking. So now Disney owns like 35 or 38% of the domestic box office. I don't know how that got past the antitrust guys, but now they've also brought back James Gunn, who was mired in scandal. The CEO of Warner Brothers steps down because of scandal. And now we have these two tremendous actors. Amber Heard played Mira in Aquaman, and Johnny Depp. I mean, this is Johnny Depp. I mean,
Exactly.
and now we have this, and it's terrible. You don't know what to believe, who to believe, when to believe, or if you miss a certain story, then maybe you miss an important fact that could change everything.
It's a mess right now, like you said, and that's the whole thing. Like right now, it's gonna get settled out of court more than likely, no matter what.
Yeah.
Because neither one of them are gonna want to actually take it to court. No one's gonna want to actually go through all that. It's gonna get settled out of the court. None of us are gonna know what's gonna really happened. Move on at this point.
That's true.
That's kind of where I think society needs to come to. We need to stop worrying about everyone else's lives, worry about our own. Like these are just actors. They're just people.
And something that you can do to take your worries away is to head over to our friends over at Dragon's Lair of Alamo Ranch here in San Antonio on the west side. It's over there, 151 and 1604. Out there by the SeaWorld, that big giant overpass that thank God they created. So you can go ahead and check them out as well. They've got all sorts of events going on. Free Comic Book Day is coming up. It's around the corner. That should be your home over there, Dragon's Lair of Alamo Ranch.
By the way, Saturday, May the 4th
Yeah.
is Free Comic Book Day.
It's Free Comic Book
Oh,
Day.
wow. That'd be
It falls on Star Wars Day.
On Star Wars Day. How many Star Wars comics do you think they'll be giving away for free?
A whole lot.
One. Or one issue.
One issue?
Because they print special Free Comic Book Day issues.
Yeah.
Speaking of Star Wars,
about
a lot of news broke about Star Wars, so let's talk about that.
I'm looking forward to completing your training. In time, you will call me Master.
Alrighty, so we've been telling you for some time now about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, which is the largest single expansion of these Disneyland and Disney World parks in their history. It's a 14-acre expansion, and it's now expected to be at capacity. That's right.
Wait, what?
Pretty much, it's already at capacity.
So they're building it, and all the animals are there.
No, the animals are being flown in and getting hotel rooms because get it, we are the animals. That's how it works. So Disneyland will open up at the end of May, and once they hit capacity, they can't let anyone else into the park. For fire reasons and whatnot.
The fire marshal will shut it down.
They will shut it down. Yeah. The crowd is expected to hit somewhere around 200,000 people on opening day alone. Now, I get it. It's going to be an experience. It's going to be something. It's going to be a lot of fun. But brace yourself because not all the news is good. Here's some of the news you should probably look forward to here in a little bit about ruining your weekend out there. First of all, the ride everyone wants to do is the Millennium Falcon ride. It's supposed to be like almost a half hour long. You get to ride the Falcon. You're up in there in the cockpit. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, no fast passes. There will be no fast passes. Everybody stands in the general admission line. Yeah, that's going to be fun.
So how do I bypass
actually...
Prep for a 6-hour wait.
In regards to that, I actually saw this, and so I contacted Brent Spiner.
Oh, good. Let's hear what... we got an exclusive, super exclusive, secret inside source quote.
Oh, yes. I hate this. It is revolting.
More?
Please.
Exactly. There you go. So... 200,000. You expect easily a 6-hour wait on the Millennium Falcon ride. All 3 Disneyland hotels have sold out the night before the opening.
Wow.
They're already sold out. And these aren't,
which hotels are those, though? That's like the Animal Kingdom one?
It's Paradise Pier.
Okay.
The Grand Californian. And I forget the third one. I forget what the third one is, but these aren't rinky dink like Motel 6s. No.
These are on the resort, right?
Yeah. Okay. Paradise Pier Hotel is already booked up. The Disneyland Hotel, just the Disneyland, starts at $651 a night.
Oh God!
Starts at $651 a night
with a premium view.
Oh, of course, absolutely. And the Grand Californian starts at, are you ready for this? Come on, starts at, this is the low end, starts at $821 a night.
With a deluxe partial view.
Of a wall.
Partial view. Yes, you get to look at the parking garage.
It's OB. It's OV. It's obstructed view.
Obstructed view.
So half your window seats the parking
garage. You're paying $821 for obstructed view.
Hey, look, I can almost see everybody having fun down there.
Guys, I can almost see. Oh, nope, he walked off.
Nope, never mind. So, yeah, wow. It's completely booked already. Now, each registered guest staying at the Disneyland hotels during the 24-day window when they're debuting the park will receive a reservation to Galaxy's Edge. Yeah, that's right. You have to get a reservation to get into Galaxy's Edge.
So that's not guaranteed I'm going to get in, or
you can go to Disneyland and not get into Galaxy's Edge. That's entirely possible.
Wow.
So super exclusive inside sources have got to help you out with that one. I mean, that's wow. So,
how much you want to bet there are people who line up the day of and don't get to ride the ride?
Well, if they listen to our show, then they would know that they should be lining up probably now.
I will laugh if like everyone's like, yeah, the Millennium Falcon, the first riders go on, it breaks.
like Pirates of the Caribbean when they first opened. Yeah. Oh, that'd be terrible.
They're stuck on there for 3 hours.
Look, I realize I'm a large gentleman, but come on now.
Now, speaking of Star Wars,
Mickey says you have to move on, please.
Speaking of Star Wars, this report just caught like wildfire all over the place that Lucasfilm was going to reopen the gaming division, calling Lucasfilm Games, and they were going to start making games again.
Are they going to bring back Battlefield or Battlefront or whatever, Star Wars, the crappy one?
Super secret exclusive inside source. Yeah, no, they're not. They're so not. But that was the report everybody ran with, was that LucasArts would reopen the gaming division, and we would
not so fast. Hey, not so fast.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely not so fast. It's not going to happen. These are the guys that made The Secret of Monkey Island, Super Star Wars, Labyrinth, Star Wars Dark Forces. They made a lot of those games in the 80s and 90s. It was closed off in 2013 after the Disney buyout. Quote, this is a statement released by LucasArts way back, and this is now 6 years old. After evaluating our position in the games market, we've decided to shift LucasArts from an internal development to a licensing model, which is what they've done. They no longer make games.
No.
They license them now pretty much over to EA, which haven't they done a stellar job?
EA, it's in the game.
EA, we fail everything we touch.
EA, prepare for
monetization.
Monetization, pretty much. It's just, that's
EA,
not good.
we're gonna
EA, it's in the microtransactions.
EA, we're in your wallet.
EA, we want your firstborn now.
Yeah, pretty much. Now, the original story that went all over the internet that got everyone excited was that they would resurrect Lucasfilm games, but that was quickly dismissed by Disney. They said, no, we're not doing that. They will not be internally developing games. They're still going to be working through EA. In fact, Disney put out a statement saying that Disney and Lucasfilm Games are, quote, still committed to their relationship with EA. So don't expect the EA deal to be canceled. Don't expect Lucasfilm Games to be resurrected. It's not going to happen. In fact, a lot of the job listings that people put out there, and oh my God, look, they're looking for they want people to come in. Oh my God. Yeah, job listings include producer, associate brand art director, and marketing coordinator. Womp womp.
I feel like there was a cleric.
I'm good for either one of those, by the way.
I feel like the cleric was running over there to resurrect LucasArts, and then someone just tripped him.
And so he rolled a 1. He rolled a 1 on his resurrection spell, and that just didn't work.
No, hey guys, he's dead. He's good. Walking off that.
All right, here we go. I'm going to resurrect Lucasfilm Games. All right, roll your D20. I rolled a 1. Yeah, we just extended our deal with EA by 5 years.
About right.
Oh my goodness. So do not expect, just don't buy into the clickbait. Don't buy into, sources say super exclusive secret sources. We don't do that.
Don't believe the person's cat.
So you're saying people shouldn't buy into
super secret exclusive inside source. That's right. Just don't do it. All right. But what you should buy into, if you haven't by now, is our monthly deal with the Alamo Drafthouse. We are going to have movie screenings. And the first one right out of the chute, our very first movie screening will be the Serenity movie from 2005. Almost 15 years old now.
Yeah.
Whoa. So we're going to be watching that movie Sunday. Sunday from today.
1 week from today.
1 week from today. In fact, right about now, we should be starting the show. Sunday the 31st at the Park North location. Get your tickets. These things started selling really fast. There are still some seats available. Sadly, the entire middle has already been taken out, but there's never really a bad seat at a draft house anyway. So go ahead and grab your tickets over there at the Park North location. That's this month. Next month, everybody's watching Endgame, right? Everyone's going to be all buzzing about Endgame.
Duh.
But we are going to be showing Infinity War up there on the big screen. Oh, yeah. Infinity War back on the big screen, only through us.
This is that sequel to the smash hit, no equal.
So that's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be a lot of fun.
I need to get the music for May.
Yeah, you do.
Already in the system.
Yeah, the music for May will be Indiana Jones and the Last
Way to
Crusade.
spoil it.
Yeah.
Well, we've talked about it before.
New people.
Okay, fine. And then in June, we want to, whatever. So June will be Batman. The 1989 Michael Keaton Batman 30th anniversary. We'll be showing that one as well. So got a bunch of movies coming up here, and we got a lot more news coming out here as well. We'll be right back on Freedom 1160 and freedom1160.com. Alrighty, welcome back from the bottom of the hour news break. This is Get Your Geek On Freedom 1160 Talk Radio. I am Dave Gramillion, and if you missed the first half of the show, we talked, unfortunately, a lot of scandal that went on. The Warner Brothers CEO has stepped down due to scandal. Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, scandal, and everything that involved. But we also talked a lot about Star Wars Land. A lot of you parents out there, I know you're hearing a lot of that. You're getting the itch, you're getting that urge to go to Disney, and we told you why that may not be a good idea, unless, of course, you've already gotten your reservations, at which point then, hey, knock yourself out. But if you miss any of that, any of the news, breaking news, interviews, opinions, anything at all, you can find it on our award-winning podcast. That's right, named the best podcast in San Antonio, the 7th largest city in the nation, 2 years running, 2017 and 2018. And we are pretty much everywhere you want to be, including, here we go, Stitcher, Omni, TuneIn, iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify. So go ahead and check us out there as well. Alrighty, so with that being said, it's time to talk some March Madness. Alrighty, so all month long we have been running the Geeky March Madness tournament, and things are really starting to get exciting because while the basketball March Madness tournament is finally getting underway, ours is in the Elite Eight, moving on to the Final Four. And, we've done this now for the third year in a row, and I tell the guys involved with this, our fellow judges, that each year it's the same thing. The first round is the hardest to judge because you have 64 people to judge. It's 32 matches. It's a lot to get into. And then by the time you get to about the Sweet 16 or the Elite Eight, that's where arguments break out, discussion and debate gets a little heated, and it gets really difficult to determine who moves on to the Final Four.
I'm glad I wasn't called crazy yet this round. I'm sure it's coming.
Probably, yeah, more than likely. So the way this works is, since obviously we can't have Superman and Kirby actually, duke it out, there's no death battle here. There's no what if, because that could go on forever. So what we do is we take the characters at their prime and we judge them on 5 criteria. 1, strength. 2, intellect. 3, durability. 4, your popular vote, found on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/GYGO radio. And number 5 is a random roll of the D20 die because it gives you that little touch of madness there. Which, by the way, the D20 has been responsible for some serious madness going on already in the tournament. That's one of the reasons why Hulk was able to get as far as he was. And yeah.
There were people hating the cleric.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks to that D20 roll there. So let's go ahead and let's discuss this and see what we got going on. The first matchup, and the winner of these will go on to the Final Four. So it's really coming down to it now. Superman versus Kirby.
I mean, this was kind of one-sided, honestly.
Well, actually, it was a lot closer than people would think. And this one, I know. You think immediately Superman, and then you think of Kirby. But Kirby, if you've ever played the game, he's a tough guy to kill. He really is. This guy can dish it out. He can take it. He's got a lot of abilities. He's got a lot of powers. He's got a lot going for him. But it's still Superman. So Superman won the strength and the intelligence. Kirby won the durability because, again, he's a hard little guy to kill. And he won the D20 roll, but the popular vote, your vote, went for Superman.
So Superman won.
Superman goes to the Final Four. A lot of people would say deservedly. I know one of our listeners is probably, shredding his bracket right now because he was really pulling for Kirby, but it was close. It really was. Had the popular vote swung for Kirby, we would have had our upset. So here we go. Thor versus Darkseid in the Elite Eight. And this is the number 1 versus the number 2 seed. This one was really incredibly close. Darkseid wins 3-2. But here's how close it was. So Darkseid got durability. Darkseid got intellect. Thor got the strength. The D20 roll was 12-11 in favor of Thor. Wow. And the popular vote was 51% to 49% in favor of Darkseid.
Dang.
That may be the closest match we've ever had in the history of the tournament. And now Darkseid goes on to the Final Four. Up next, we have
anti-life equation.
Green Lantern versus Silver Surfer. This one was not close. This one was the opposite of close. Silver Surfer obliterated Green Lantern 5-0. He won every category.
So my guy's still in it. I'm good.
He's still there. Silver Surfer is still hanging around. And then we have Darth Sidious versus the Hulk. Now, the Hulk this is the Cinderella story, okay? The Hulk was the 15 seed. And he made it all the way to the Elite Eight. This is your Cinderella story, your underdog story. And
however,
it's over.
It's midnight.
It's over. Yep. He's turned back into the pumpkin. Darth Sidious won this one 3-2. But again, this one was close as well, because if you go off of what we're judging, because I know a lot of people will say, oh, well, Darth Sidious, he just uses the Force, picks the Hulk up into the air, and that's it. Or he crushes his bones or something. That's not how this tournament works. So Hulk obviously gets the strength. He obviously gets durability. It was a split decision on intellect. The intellect went for Darth Sidious, and then the D20 and popular vote went for Sidious as well. So had the D20 gone for the Hulk, a 15 seed would go to the Final Four.
Or the intellect.
Or the intellect gone.
Deserve the intellect.
Or the popular vote. But no.
The Hulk that everybody knows, no.
I mean, still.
The popular Hulk in what would people consider his prime. I'm sorry.
It's Gladiator Hulk. Come on.
Dude, you think I had to put some thought into it. I honestly thought, and I had justification for it.
Yeah.
He went to the Elite Eight.
No, I can't do that.
He got some really favorable matchups along the way. He really did.
Yeah.
The things that probably wouldn't happen had he fought Superman or had he fought Thor or had he fought Kerrigan even probably would have given him a run for his money.
Yeah.
But he just got some, again, it's just like in the real March Madness tournament going on right now. If you get the right matchup, anything can happen.
Yeah, if we were talking Joe Fixit or Professor, yeah, he'd win it hands down. Yeah. But we're talking about the Hulk in his prime that everybody knows, and that's Hulk smash.
Pretty much.
I'll give you that. So, just go read World of Hulk, everybody. Needs to read that. So that way I can say that's his prime.
So with that being said, let's move on from March Madness and let's talk about Transformers news. All right, so why are we talking about this? I mean, Bumblebee's long since over. We've got Captain Marvel, which, by the way, hit $800 million globally at the box office.
You can pre-order Bumblebee on Vudu, though.
You can, yes, indeed. You can pre-order it on Amazon as well. So, why are we talking about this? Well, it's been a little bit of a bug of mine that Bumblebee did not do as well at the box office as some of its former predecessors. Right. In fact, it's the worst. At the box office, it did worse than every Bayformer movie out there.
Competition was a thing.
Counter-programming
is a thing, man.
It came out at the same time as Mary Poppins Returns, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and
came out
Aquaman.
the same weekend as Aquaman.
So that did hurt it. However, I like this one. Now, this is me speaking personally. I like movies that have strong characters that I can invest in. A solid story and a good plot that moves that story along. That being said, Michael Bay movies have none of that in any movie I've ever seen of his ever. So,
not even The Island?
Not even The Island.
With ScarJo and Ewan McGregor?
Amazingly enough.
I'm thinking Shutter Island. That wasn't him.
Anyway, so now we hear from the producer that they want more of a Bayformer style in the next Bumblebee movie. I mean, there is going to be another one, that's for sure. But they want to go back to more of that Bayformer style. So essentially, they want to go back to the lowest common denominator. They want to treat you like a child. They want to put shiny things in front of you and go, ooh, look, explosions, booms, bangs, no character development. Forget it. That's about it. So I guess they decided that it's just too much work to make solid characters we get into. Let's just have Megan Fox bending over a car and just that's all the character development you need, right?
I'm sorry, what? I stopped listening after you said Megan Fox bending over.
Yeah, exactly. Her character her arc is really complete because she was wearing short shorts to begin with, and then by the end of the movie, right, the shorts just got shorter, and that's real character development in a Bayformer movie. And it really upsets me.
Perfect every time.
Yeah, they do.
Perfect development.
But what really gnaws at me though is that Bumblebee is a good movie. It's a solid movie, and yet for whatever reason they decide that they want to go back to booms and bangs and explosions and Megan Fox style, and that's it. And okay. Why can't we have good movies?
So, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
We've talked before about some entertainment companies wanting to attract more families.
Yeah.
To become more female driven.
Yes.
I think Bumblebee did a great job of that.
I agree.
Bumblebee was, my lady friend wanted to watch the Bayformer movies after Bumblebee. I said no. I need to watch those other movies. No, you don't.
Good on you.
Nope. Not happening. So, it's one of those things where when you get somebody who's not a geek, who was reticent to see Bumblebee, that was, I think, her second or third choice. Wasn't her first? Her first choice was Aquaman.
I wonder why.
But I think Bumblebee was actually the third overall choice out of the 3 movies we had already mentioned.
Yep.
And she went out there and she was like, oh man, she cried like twice in that movie. Mm-hmm. And I cried just because the character designs of the Transformers just looked awesome.
Oh yeah. I mean, the opening fight on Earth was really well done. The
opening fight on Cybertron.
And the opening fight on Cybertron was well done as well. So I don't understand why we can't have both. Why can't we have good movies that we can invest emotionally in and still have the boom and bang for the buck? Why can't we have both?
These producers, these guys who invest money, because face it, they go to the bank and they say, we want money. And they have to get money from the bank. They get investors. They get producers. And like you just said, it tanked. It didn't do well. And they don't look at, oh, well, Aquaman was there. Oh, this. No, it just, that number says it was low. Mm-hmm. And now we know Bayformers, that works. Let's go back to that. Well, that's all they see.
But it got low because the last night was hot garbage.
But they don't see that. They're looking at the dollar amount. That's all they're going to look at.
And the dollar amount is booms and bangs and Megan Fox. So then, let's just roll with that again. Now, I've often said that this is actually what Star Wars needs. This is what if you're going to go with the lowest common denominator and you want to preach to the masses overall, then Star Wars fans want a Michael Bay movie.
Yeah.
They absolutely do. And he will feed them the slop from the trough that they have been clamoring for. But it grinds my gears to see a great actress like Haley Staten, the girl in the girl in the movie. She did such a great job, and I was drawn into that movie. You don't see that a lot anymore, especially in geeky films. Let's face it. I don't think it's breaking news that geeky films have never been big on character, plot, and story.
Right.
But when they are, they usually nail it, like The Last Starfighter, like Back to the Future. All right? That leaves an impact. Highlander, yes, absolutely. That leaves an emotionally driven impact on you. When you walk out of the theater, you should be thinking about the characters in the story, not the size of the explosions. And yet, here we are. So there's my little my little rant. Please, guys, make another Bumblebee-like movie. Don't make another Bayformer. Pretty, please.
Maybe they'll figure out how to meet in the middle.
We can only hope.
Well, the end of it, the last scene set up a sequel great.
Yes.
And it totally it totally changed the timeline.
And it didn't have Linkin Park, so there was that.
Well,
hey. I liked Linkin Park.
I like the song at the end of the first movie.
I mean,
wasn't that Linkin Park?
Yeah, that was Linkin Park.
Yeah, okay, all right.
I'm not typically a fan of Linkin Park, but that song I liked.
I liked them just because they were willing to always try something different, whether people liked it or not.
The song at the end of Spider-Man was really good too, but it wasn't Linkin Park, I don't think.
Yeah, that's true.
The Spider-Man. And which one?
The Tobey Maguire first one.
No, that was Saliva and Nickelback.
Yeah.
Wait, Nickelback did something good?
Yes. Yeah. Nickelback is actually pretty good.
Oh, okay.
They actually, everyone bashes their music.
I don't care if a Fox Marvel film is like the Beatles being produced by Nickelback, all right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you.
I mean,
as long as it's not Radiohead, right?
Oh, gosh. Terrible.
Perfect. All right. So with that being said, we've been teasing this for a while now because Google's been teasing that they're going to jump into the world of gaming, and we finally have our results. All right, and this segment is brought to you by our friends over at Havoc, the heroes and villains of cosplay right here in San Antonio. Ladies and gentlemen, look, you want to cosplay. We all know people love to cosplay, but do it your way with a terrific group of friends, and that would be our friends over at Havoc, the heroes and villains of cosplay right here in San Antonio. All right, so Google made their big time announcement. Here it comes, Stadia. It is here. That is what they are calling their gaming platform. One controller, one logo, and one game called Doom Eternal, which is what they've announced so far.
That's all you get.
Yeah, pretty much. So that's kind of how they're kicking it off.
Now, so it's doomed from the get-go.
Yeah. Hey-oh.
Terrible.
It's doomed eternally from the get-go.
Oh, God. That's true.
So we have interesting how this came out. Now, the upside to this is that you can launch a game instantly. It is like a streaming service. It's like Netflix. It's like Amazon Prime. You push the button and there it is, which for me is really good news because, yeah, I'm getting really sick of buying a game, getting it home, and waiting a half hour for it to load because there are updates and installations. And remember, what was it that had the patch? It had like the game.
Oh, was that Blackout? Wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was Blackout. It was like a 50 gig download that you had to have before you went into that. Yeah, no thanks.
That was Call of Duty, wasn't it?
Yeah, Call of Duty Black Ops.
Call of Duty Black Ops. So
or Black Ops.
It was terrible. It really was. So the good news is you launch it, you play it. Boom. Enough
Which
said.
is fun and all. So the thing is, it is a streaming service, though, is what it comes down to. So if you don't have great internet, it's not going to work properly.
Yeah, that's one of the downsides. All right, it is all streaming. It's all streaming. So at least you don't have to worry about, if you have a gaming computer, you don't have to spend $3,000 on a gaming computer.
Right.
Which is good news. But yeah, at the same time, if your internet connection is spotty, or, if you're going to the beach, if you're going to
you don't pay the bill.
If you're, you don't pay the bill, you go to Enchanted Rock. The weather, if it's raining, sometimes your internet slows down if you get a good thunderstorm.
Yeah.
Too much electric discharge in the air.
The wife is watching Outlander and you're wanting to play games.
That's right.
Dang it, Outlander.
Yeah. If it's a family thing and you've got two kids on devices and you want a game and the wife's watching Outlander, it's going to suffer.
Guess you're paying more for that 400 megabyte download.
I guess so. So Time Warner's like, yeah, buddy, bring it on.
There's a 400 megabyte. I've only heard of like megabit.
Megabit. Sorry.
That's a whole nother issue, son.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Now,
it's lack of sleep kicking in.
Now, this also means that you can't do any mods. No modifications. No. But I think that's by design. I think that we will see modifications. Now, modifications, I mean like you play Grand Theft Auto, but your character is the Hulk.
Yeah,
because of a modification, or you're Harry Potter.
Yeah, it's just what they call an overlay, which is like the skin of the character or the buildings or whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, you're driving a tank or something like that. So, but I think there will be modifications. It's all Google software, so I think they're going to sell modifications.
Sell like a developer's kit probably or something.
A developer's kit is what they'll do. All right, you want to play Grand Theft Auto as Superman? No problem. You want to play it as Batman? No problem. That'll be $29.99.
Exactly.
And I think
Batman would work for Grand Theft Auto. A lot more than Superman would.
Especially with the Batmobile.
Awesome.
That'd be yeah.
Or Green Arrow.
I'd go for that. Cool. But now you can also play it not just on your computer. You can play it on your desktop, laptop. You can play it on a smart TV. You can play it on a tablet.
And
you can play it on your smartphone.
Yeah.
So and they showed how this goes from device to device seamlessly. Mm-hmm. Now they were also Google devices,
of course.
But in the presentation they went from device to device to device, and it loaded up just fine.
I wonder if they're going to have Dragon Slayer and Space Ace.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
I think the problem they're going to have, though, which is what I saw earlier. So I don't know if I mentioned it on the show or not, but I was part of the Project Stream that they did, which was their beta test, you could say. And that's where they had Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And you could play that one. And it was really fun. It was really awesome. But there was a few huge dropbacks. Number one, internet connection. I can play it on a Chromebook, yes, which is running an i3 processor, meaning it's not the strongest. It's not the best computer in the world. It's a little, it just logs on the internet, but it played fine, but it didn't connect to the internet very well. And I can tell you where I was at, there should have been at least 200-300 download speeds. And I was maybe not getting 20. And you could tell if it's dropped below like a certain number, it would say, no, you can't play the game. Yeah. You get a big red screen, basically. It says, nah, you're good. Even though I would run a speed test, looks like I should be fine, their speed test says no. So you're locked out.
Yeah. Before we continue, I also want to let everybody know about the Celebrity Fan Fest that's coming up June 14th.
Mm-hmm. June 14th to the 16th at the Freeman Coliseum and Expo Hall.
Yeah,
we know our
that's
dates.
Right. So I got Celebration on the brain, so that's where my mind is right now. But Celebrity Fan Fest, every time that they've made some serious announcements already, and they have more to come. By the way, there are more announcements coming, including they swear somebody from the MCU. Now they've already gotten Jeremy Renner, who's Hawkeye.
Yeah.
So that's a big name. Jason Momoa will be coming as
We mentioned
well.
Amber Heard earlier.
Amber Heard will be here as well. Walter Koenig will be here. Robert Picardo will be here. There will be a number of celebrities. Robert Wool, who was Good Morning Vietnam.
Oh, okay.
Who was Batman 1989. Alexander Knox, that guy. He was also in Bull Durham with Kevin Costner.
Arliss from HBO.
Arliss.
Never saw that one.
The title character from Arliss. So they're a large number of people coming, a lot of good vendors coming, and over 24 cars from movies, including Kit from Knight Rider, Optimus Prime. We're going to have the Mystery Machine will be here.
Bayformer Optimus Prime.
The Bayformer Optimus Prime, but you'll have the Mystery Machine, a large number of cars. Guys, this is going to take place.
Going to be there.
This is going to take place at the Freeman Coliseum Expo Hall. So you want to get your tickets. Go to pmxevents.com now and get your tickets. 3 days are still available. Single days are available. However you want to do it is fine. Grab the kids and let's go on down to the Celebrity Fan Fest.
And also the big gaming thing that he wouldn't talk about.
Yes,
and
there
I
would
know what that is.
There will be a huge gaming component
In April, and he'll be here in April, possibly to talk about it.
Knock on wood.
I need to know.
Ooh, we really hope so. Ooh, it's gonna be good stuff.
Using that to go back to
So speaking of the gaming, so it's all going to come down to your web connection reliability, which that's how it's always been. I mean, to be fair, when it comes to online playing.
But the other thing is too, when you played it, so I had a buddy that played the Project Stream with me, and he played it on his PS4 or Xbox, whichever one. They actually cut out scenes in the game that the stream couldn't handle. So there's certain scenes in the game that you couldn't get on Project Stream because it was too much, I guess, data, graphics.
Too much to handle.
Yeah, the graphics were too intense. So if you played on the PC or on the Xbox or PlayStation, you got to see everything. Where on Project Stream you couldn't.
Wow.
Well, I guess I should say Stadia now.
Now Google swears that they expect to support 4K at 60 frames a second at launch over an internet connection that is 30 down, give or take plus or minus. I don't see how.
But then that comes down to this whole thing. How many of us have a 4K PC monitor? Because those are like what, $1,200, $1,500 just for that monitor?
Are they? Are they? Yeah.
When I was looking at it, it was almost $2,000.
Well, they're trying to overestimate, but I mean 4K at 60 frames a second on only 30 down,
which is not bad if you can do it. But I mean, I'd rather just give me 1080p with 120 frames per second. I'd be happier with that, honestly.
Which actually they are saying that they will plan to support 8K resolutions up to 120 frames a second.
I don't think they can do that. Not on
How?
30 megabits.
I know Google's on the forefront of technology and everything, and they run the world pretty much. But 8K at 120 frames?
Won't be happening at a LAN party, I tell you that much.
Right. I wonder if they're going to do some kind of bundle. Because, Google Fiber is going to like a lot of these major cities. If they're going to be like, hey, get Google Fiber and we'll throw in Stadia for free or months or whatever.
You know where I guarantee you will not be able to play this at? Star Wars Land. There'll be 200,000 people. There's no way you can get bandwidth over there. There's no way.
It's like, guys, I can't. Oh, I died.
People are going to complain that their Netflix is buffering as they're waiting in line for the Millennium Falcon.
Oh, yeah,
and people are going to try to live stream everything, right?
Oh, yeah.
So seriously, really you're going to have 30 to 40,000 people at a time trying to live stream. Mm-hmm. There's no way they can handle that. So I don't know. I mean, so Google is gonna do that, huh?
I just started recording everything. I gave up on live streaming.
Now one thing that's going to be interesting is
you're here.
I mean,
you say on a live stream, yeah. Exactly.
I know, right? Okay, on my other stuff.
One thing that's going to be interesting, though, is because Google owns everything. All right, you're playing Google games on a Google piece of, not necessarily hardware, but their servers, that hardware on their network. So it's really going to cut down on any type of cheating.
Which is good.
That's of course, it cuts down on speed running also, because, you like to exploit those little glitches in there and those little cheats and whatnot, but... I think for the mainstream gamer, it'll be okay, but some of us like to have a little mod, a little cheat, a little something.
It's a little fun, but I don't know. I really don't know about this yet. I really even with the Project Stream, it wasn't as fun as I thought it was going to be, but it was only one game. They're launching with only one game still.
Yeah.
And they're not even launching back with Odyssey, which kind of bites. Like if you didn't finish it, yeah, I mean, I guess they gave a free copy to you if you played, so I have a copy of it for PC.
Now, I'm intrigued by this idea. I really am. The idea that you don't need a $3,000 gaming piece of hardware to game at the high level is intriguing to me. And for families out there who have young kids, who have teenagers, this should be intriguing to you as well, because what's the one thing you're always looking for is the next big thing.
Yeah.
The next NVIDIA graphics card, the next AMD processor, the next, now I got this, but now I need a new motherboard. Now I need more RAM. Now I need this. Those days may be coming to an end.
It really will help. And I think what they're going to do is they're going to push their Chrome boxes, those Google Chromebooks, those Google Chromebooks, because they are built for streaming only.
Google, and the Google Pixels.
Yeah, and the Google Pixel, their phone, their tablets. I think, like you said, the day of custom rigging your PC is over, and it's going to be, hey, come buy our $200 Chromebook because it's online all the time, and we have the best networking.
And then pay for your $60 a month streaming service.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
Oh, and by the way, don't forget to pay for our fiber.
Now, if I'm them, if I have Google, they have Google reps at, Best Buys and that sort of thing. I put a $200 Chromebook next to a $2,000 Alienware.
Oh, heck yeah.
And just show off, right? I mean, that would be something to see.
Yeah.
All right, so that'll wrap it up here. For Goose, for Aaron, and for myself, I want to thank all of our sponsors. That'll be the Celebrity Fan Fest, Dragon's Lair Alamo Ranch, and Havoc, and of course the mailing spot for our shipping needs. You have embraced your inner geek, so be sure to get your geek on every single day.